All right, welcome back to fractions. This time we're going to kick it up a notch because we were just identifying fractions before. This time we're going to look at equivalent fractions, and I want you to think about what equivalent fractions could mean really quickly. We're also going to look at comparing fractions and deciding which fraction is worth more or has more value to it. All right, so if I want to compare fractions or I want to decide which one is worth more, I'm going to look at two different fractions. I'm going to look at 3/4 and 2/3. Okay, so I want to know which of those is worth more. So my first one, and I'm actually going to color code this for you. Okay, my first one is going to be 3/4, and I want to know how much of that is going to be 3/4. Okay, so if I look at this first bar and I divide it into my denominator, which is 4, remember, our denominator is that number that's on the bottom, okay, and over here it would be 3. So I have to divide my fraction into those fourths. Okay, so you'll notice that I've done 4. The next thing I have to do is I need to fill in how many of it? Remember to look to your numerator. I'm going to fill in 3 of those pieces. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of sketch it in here. Alright, so there's my 3/4. Then I need to take my 2/3 and I need to do that one. So let's look at 2/3 and see which of these is more. So my denominator in 2/3 is my 3. So I'm going to divide my fraction into 3 equal pieces. Okay, so there's my 3 equal pieces. And then how many of those am I going to have to color in? Numerator says 2. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2. Now if I look at this and I create a line from my longest point, I would take it from here and I would extend it down. And I want to know which of those fraction bars has more filled in, because you'll notice that I created them so that they are the same on both sides. So here is exactly the same. Which of those is filled in more? It's going to be my 3/4, because up here at the top, more is filled in. All right, so I want you to try one on your own now. We're going to compare 1/3 and 2/5. So what I want for you to do is to go ahead and pause the video, solve your question, and then we'll come back and we'll check your answer. All right, so what is my denominator here on my first problem? It's 3, so you should have divided it into 3. And I know 3s are a little bit weird, but we're just going to go with it. And then my second denominator was how many? 5. So I needed to divide it into 5 pieces. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many of my original problem did I need to color in? Should have been 1, because my numerator was 1. And then how many of my fifths did I need to color in? Should have been 2. Okay. And this is where it is important that you're really precise, because these might look very, very similar, which ours do in this case. So which one is actually more? If I do my line, this one actually extends just a hair past. So I'm going to go with the fact that 2/5 is actually my larger quantity. Hopefully you captured the same information in your drawing. Okay, let's try one more set. And this time, I want us to compare the fractions. Okay, so we're going to do 5/6 or 7/8. Go ahead and pause your computer, solve it, and then let's decide which one it is. Okay, so up here I'm going to have 6 pieces. So what I like to do is I like to divide it in half when it's an even number, and then I just put that number that's half on each side. So you'll notice that I put my half, and then I did 1, 2, 3, and I did 1, 2, 3. Okay, so down here I did my half, and then I'm going to do my 4s. So now I just have to fill in. And how many am I going to fill in up top? That's right, I'm going to fill in 5 of those. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then down below, I'm going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now if I extend my line, I see that my largest point is here. Okay, and which one was more? Should have been your 7/8. Okay, this time I want us to look at 2/3 and the fraction 4/6. Take a couple of seconds and figure out what you think of this, and then we will talk about it in a second. So go and pause your video, solve it, and then we'll talk. Okay, so if I look at 2/3 first, I'm going to divide my piece into 3, and I'm going to color in 2 of them. Okay, just like so. And then if I look at my 6ths, I'm going to divide it in half first, and then I'm going to do those 3 on either side. Okay. And then I need to color in how many? Oh, let's try it again. I need to color in how many? That's right, 4. So I would color in 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, awesome. Now when I go to extend my line, oh, they're both the same. What do you think that means? I want you to write it on your paper and be ready to talk about it tomorrow. Tomorrow we will discuss what those 2 fractions are actually called. Think in your mind about something that I've already said in the video, and maybe if you wanted to rewind and figure it out, I want you to decide what are those 2 fractions to each other, and we're going to discuss it tomorrow in class. Until then, I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.